All right. Well, welcome to Chapter 11 of the Scatology podcast. This is kind of Halloween, so this is our kind of Halloween special.
That's why we look like dickheads.
I always look like a dickhead. I'm not sure about you. And this is our friend the devil, along for the ride. And you're here with Beelzebub, Job Zombie, and our special guest today is Lucifer Melhop. Welcome, Lucifer. Join us.
Pleasure to be here.
Glad to have you. Yeah. Nice touch. Nice touch. Yeah.
Yeah, violent props.
Violence. It's not Halloween without violent props, hey? Yeah. So I think we've got to stick with the red today on the oh shit sign. Bit of blood colour. Or a blue blood if you're royal.
There's a story to that too.
That's true too.
Royal
Yeah.
blood.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mark Passio theory about extraterrestrial intervention in our species is why we're so. Why we don't really.
That's not a lapel mic, Luke.
Yeah, right. I'm your unidirectionalism. Okay, I'll talk about it. But anyway, that's another story.
Sorry, I interrupted.
That's another story of royal blood, anyway.
So,
But tell your
so
story. 'Cause
are you saying that royal
people
blood,
can
the
hear you
idea
now.
of royal blood might be an allusion to like extraterrestrials?
Yeah, well, you know how David Icke goes on about how the Queen's a lizard and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That may be more metaphorical than even he understands, but
Mm.
there are theories that that I've heard that the missing link, so to speak, is actually extraterrestrial intervention.
Mm.
Why
Interesting.
chromosome 2 looks like it's genetically engineered. Anyway,
Does it? I don't know anything about that, man. What do you
look,
mean?
chromosome 2, look it up.
Look it up. Check out
Yeah.
chromosome 2.
But anyway,
It doesn't look the same as the rest, is that what you're saying?
No, it looks modified, like
Oh.
it's been.
Yeah, right.
manipulated
That's
some-
pretty weird, isn't
I
it?
mean,
compared to
it's knowledge. No, like it's like all our chromosomes are natural except for chromosome 2, which looks like it's been like chopped off and sewn up, sort of like engineered. It's been genetically modified, like you would with, they put salmon in tomatoes to make it look more red, or
Mm.
Yeah, they do that with
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
it's like our species is genetically.
but that happens naturally too.
That's some crazy internet stuff, though. Like I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
You
I
don't
wouldn't
want to
put my
go.
house on it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But anyway, that theory is that. So what happened was this sort of hybrid, half alien, half hominid or whatever, like chimpanzee, developed to be a slave race. But then some of the extraterrestrials, couldn't help themselves with breeding with a hybrided, half extraterrestrial, half primate. So that actually developed a bloodline that made them slightly different species.
So what's the difference between an alien and an angel? Because the Bible says the same thing.
Well, for some people's research,
That angels
that like
bred
the
with
whole-
humans, some shit.
some people break down the whole like Adam and Eve story and its location and all that to be actual, it's documented history of this event.
Mm.
But anyway, that's the theory, is that there's specific bloodlines that still carry the higher consciousness and intellect of the extraterrestrials. But that's crazy stuff. I don't know how we got onto that, but
Well, so
Mm.
let's
Royal blood.
take that. Let's take this whole
That-
conversation. Let's keep going, man. So if you think about extraterrestrials, and you think about the angels and demons that are in the Bible, they could possibly be two different alien species, as in the reptilians, the demons, the Sirius B dog people, whatever. I don't know the official term, but I've read a lot about this stuff. Like I love reading this sort of stuff, man. I really love it. I can't say that I'm caught hook, line, and sinker, but I do love reading about it and that sort of stuff. So perhaps the angels are the good aliens, the demons are the bad aliens. So the reptilians that want to enslave us, and the dog people from Sirius B. Apologies if you are a dog person from Sirius B. I'm sorry that I don't know the correct name. It's like saying black or African American. I'm just not sure what the correct terminology
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
Okay,
because-
so I am sorry.
Politically correct.
If I have offended your starseed,
I think it's dirge is the proper pronoun. Dirge.
dirge.
I thought political
dirge.
correctness had gone too far, but now
Yeah, yeah.
now you're using appropriate terms for star seeds.
Yeah, well, are you
next level?
Are you a crystal, a rainbow, or an ultraviolet? I'm not really sure.
Did you just assume my galactic origins?
I did, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Forgive me.
That's next level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next level.
No, it is interesting.
Mm.
It's interesting. So one thing I think about is that I feel like we get drawn into a false dichotomy between scientism and creationism, where it's like, no, this is the origin of our species. It come from the Big Bang, which truly is just as magical and unexplained as anything.
Mm-hmm.
Or we come from this divine, what do you call it, intelligent design. And I'm like, well, why be drawn into dichotomy?
Yeah.
What if there are two possibilities of thousands of possibilities of the origin of our species? You know?
For
Mm.
sure, man.
Nice. And alien intervention is one of them.
Yeah, yeah.
It would explain the missing link, as well as, well, better than Darwinism.
As well
because
as-
Darwinism doesn't have an
As well
explanation.
as the explanation God did it.
Exactly.
It's just as plausible in
It might
my
not be that different.
understanding. But I know, Robbie, you're like a straight up
Where's Robbie on this?
God created the world like he said he did in Genesis. I know that you're like that. I'm
Yeah.
not.
You're a creationist?
Not in the American evangelical sense.
Yeah.
The whole 7-day thing. No.
Mm.
Nope.
But the concepts of that
I'm an evolutionist, but I'm also a creationist.
The God set off
If
a chain
that
of
helps
events.
answer, but it probably
Yeah.
doesn't. It probably just
So-
opens up a huger door to what the fuck.
exactly. And I'm cool with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like open
too,
doors
me
to
too.
different ideas.
Me too.
But intelligent design is no more flawed than Darwinism. It's probably it's
Darwinism's
probably
not
mildly
flawed.
more plausible.
You
I
think of a chihuahua.
Mm.
It used to be a wolf.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
got involved, made a chihuahua.
Yeah, but it's not.
You can kick a chihuahua.
No matter how much any species evolved, what's extremely rare is species evolving into a different species, which is what we're told. We're told primates evolved into hominid, and it's like see, they talk about the missing link like as if they've got
Yep,
this. The missing link is a chasm. It's it's something
A
that cannot be
gaping
bridged,
chasm.
without
yeah,
them
it
moving
is.
bones around to make them look tall.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, the missing link is the $64 million question. If you work that one out, you'll be very rich. And there's
Yeah.
been a few frauds who have tried to and
Yeah.
got rich as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Piltdown Man, and what was the other one?
I don't think
You know, where they just put chimpanzee skulls on human
they
skulls
fucked it all
and
up
went,
on purpose. Yeah.
oh, we found
yeah.
the missing
Glued
link.
some bones together.
I mean,
Yeah.
look at the way a cat can go, like from a lion and a domestic short hair, whatever, being the same species, and a wolf and a pug being the same species. But pugs and wolves don't turn into cats. They still stay within there.
That's correct, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%, unless you're a hyena.
Yeah.
They're both. So there's always a spanner.
No, they're hyenas.
There's always a spanner. Yeah, hyena is half cat, half dog.
It's technically a canine, though, is it not?
Technically a feline, I think. I'm pretty sure.
All right.
Shit.
No, there
Yeah.
are
Let's ask
exceptions. Though.
Jeeves.
There are exceptions.
Let's ask Jeeves.
Oh,
There's
there's
some
always... look at the platypus. Like, how much of an
Yeah, what the
exception
fuck's
is
wrong with
that?
thing?
Platypus
Like, that
evolved
thing
from
is
a
crazy.
beaver and a duck and a plover. I don't know, but
And something with venom, too.
that's the plover. Haven't they got a poisonous barb?
Plovers.
Plovers, yeah, they do.
Do
Yeah.
they?
I think
Really?
they do.
Oh, I just thought they had an angry swoop.
Yeah, they are very angry.
They've got barbs, me.
They are angry. They're like,
They are.
Oh, so they can sting you. I didn't know that.
yeah, they can be dangerous. They're more dangerous potentially than magpies.
I think so.
But
they're,
they don't-
they're a heavier bird too.
Yeah.
So they swoop you. It'll hurt a hell of a lot more.
But they're
They're
more likely to
frightening.
be threatening than whereas a magpie will have a snap. More likely to have a snap, I think.
Poke your eye
Come
out.
closer.
Wow.
Plovers are like, yeah. Well, they nest on the ground as a big
Hyenas, felines,
Yeah, felines.
according to Wikipedia.
according to Wikipedia.
Oh, but they're kind of half and half. They're like right in the middle. If
Yeah.
you're
They-
talking about
it's called a feliform, which is
But would you, but if you saw a hyena, would you say you're a big pussy?
cat-like.
Mm.
Would you call it a big
Their
pussy?
behaviour's canine though. Sorry, mate.
Would you call it a big pussy if you saw a hyena?
No, it
You
looks
say-
like a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And they behave like dogs. They do the
I'd
pack
call it
thing.
sir, probably. But yeah.
Yeah.
Some cats do the pack thing
Be
too, like
prepared.
the lions. But most cats are solo.
Now, what's an example of that? Tribal cat.
Your lions, They're tribal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
They're
They're
in
like
groups.
primates, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Have
But
an
most
alpha
cats are
Full
solo.
hierarchy. Yeah.
Yeah, most cats are solo.
It's a
Yep.
funny study about. We are. I don't know what track we're on. I'm sorry.
Oh, we're speaking shit.
But the the alpha primates, right? This is a funny story. The alpha primates. So they mate with all the girls, right? Because they're the alpha, like a silverback. He's the boss through violence, so he gets to mate with all the girls. And what's funny is
Sorry, what species are we talking about?
the
Silverback.
primate's like a silverback, like a gorilla, and
Oh, gorillas. Okay,
Okay.
right,
I
right.
might be wrong on that.
Silverback is a
I
gorilla.
might be wrong
yeah.
on that, but
No, you're right.
No, I'm just-
Silverback is a gorilla.
I'm just listening. Yeah.
so being the alpha means he gets to have all the girls, right?
Yep.
Through violence, he's the toughest
Yep,
and strongest.
yep.
So all the girls sleep with him, but it's not through the girls' choice because they actually sneak around and have sex with the beta males when he's not looking. So it's not the
Really?
women choosing
That's
the alpha;
great.
it's the alpha creating that
Ah,
environment for
wow.
himself. Because I think it's interesting to relate that to polygamy in humans and gender. But yeah, anyway,
No,
back
keep
to the
going.
aliens.
Keep going. I'm
back to
listening.
the aliens.
No, keep going.
Back to the royal
I
blood.
want to hear your.
Fascinating. I like
I want to
it.
hear your polygamy reference.
Well,
Gorillas and polygamy.
I guess I humour the concept that it's possible males are polygamous and females aren't.
But in the primate example that you've just given, that's not true because the females of the like the silverback gorillas, whatever the females are called, you're saying that they're not monogamous. They're fucking everything. Just while they pretend to be monogamous to the alpha male, and then go
Yeah, well,
sleep
what I-
around
What I don't know
with
is
the beta males.
what I don't know is whether they partner up with one of the betas behind
Oh.
the alpha's back.
Oh, as in
Yeah, but then beta gets snapped by alpha.
True
Unless
story.
beta
Yeah, if they
is
do that-
strong enough to knock off
to become
the alpha.
the alpha. Yeah, and if alpha finds out that one of his missuses has shacked up with a beta, he'll fucking kill him.
Mm.
So if it happens,
People do
they
the
probably
same
don't
thing.
live that long. Yeah, they do, man. Like people.
It
that-
happens.
Yeah, it does happen.
It's how most murder happens, actually.
Yeah, crime of passion.
The old
Yeah,
crime
yeah.
of passion, yeah.
Mm.
So I wonder if. I mean, to me, it's not really clearly defined whether or not we're a monogamous species or like penguins, you know,
Yeah,
Well, we're both.
or whether polygamous,
pigeons
or
as
we're both.
well. Pigeons are
both.
monogamous too. Yeah, a lot of bird species are.
I had this interesting conversation with this guy from Sudan,
Mm.
refugee, and he was because his culture was polygamy,
Mm-hmm.
and in his culture, that was like the richer you were, the more wives you had.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know? And he'd come to Australia as a refugee, and actually, I think he was Kenyan. But
They can run real fast, those Kenyans.
yeah, so we're in this group discussion and training for work with males and females, and he's talking about it, and geez, it was funny to hear the reactions.
Mm.
Like some of the women are like, it's kind of this virtue signaling quandary because they're stuck between going, that's disgusting, you know, you should be loyal, you shouldn't be a polygamous man, but also the conflict of values is there is that, oh, this guy's a refugee and has a different cultural experience that we should embrace.
Mm-hmm.
A bit like
Mm,
people when
mm.
they sort of have like feminist views, but then are also Islamist apologists, and it's kind of like, well, hang on, where do you sit with
Yeah. There's a
where do you sit with
dichotomy
them
there.
throwing homosexual people off buildings? You know, like
Mm.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a bit of
exactly. It doesn't make
interesting.
much sense. It's
Yes.
not that logical.
Modern liberalism has a lot of contradictions.
Mm. Mm.
And
That's just modern
You could even say
conservatism.
hypocrisy.
Could you imagine?
really.
Could you imagine being in that conversation in that room and observing the women's responses and the
Ah.
men's responses to him talking about polygamy in that way? To him, it's just matter of fact. This is how he lived.
Mm-hmm.
And then so the women are asking, so which wife did you bring? And he's like, and there's kind of this point where it was like, you know, if one misbehaved, it was like,
Oh wow. And
So he chose one wife to bring. Is that what happened?
Yeah, well, he doesn't have a polygamous domestic situation here currently.
Ah.
Yeah. Anyway.
What was it a religious thing? Was it Islamic or something for him?
No, I think
I know
I
there's
think
a-
it, I
there's
think
a-
it predates that
Oh,
stuff. I
right.
think it's like some of those sort of
Yeah.
Tribal
Yeah. Tribal
communities,
law.
yeah.
Sure. Wow, man. How different is that from our situation, man?
yeah.
Mm.
It's wild.
But it makes whenever I hear or read about different experiences from different places and times, it makes me question so much about our current culture and our current belief systems and values. And it's like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so to me, the default these days is to go, what does biology tell me? Because everything else is potentially manipulated and manufactured and engineered for somebody's benefit. I mean, how much of our perspectives and our socialisation is designed to make us good consumers and obedient, you know, and how much is actually got to do with our biology, what's in our instinct.
Depends on how many males you have.
How many what?
How many males you have.
What do you mean?
Well, one male can fertilise thousands of females,
Yeah.
but it doesn't go the reverse way.
Yeah, a woman can
So,
only get pregnant once for 9
I
months.
guess if you grow up in a culture where all the males have been killed because
You've
of
gotta spread that
warfare or
seed.
whatever,
Yeah.
you're going to end up with more girls. Wouldn't
Yeah.
that be the way it goes for that kind of culture?
But look at all the cultures. Look at the Roman Empire. Look at Indigenous Australians. Look at Indigenous New Guineans. You know, it's like there's so many different timelines and societies and structures where things were different. It's like,
Absolutely.
I like, okay,
And there'll be more
what is-
stuff in our
yeah.
future too.
what does
like-
biology tell me?
Mm.
What's written into our DNA in terms of how the genders get along and whether they have equal pay or you know what I mean, all that kind of stuff. Like, what does the biology tell me?
About equal pay.
Well, even that, yeah. Are we predisposed as males to different types of employment, or do you know what I mean?
But that's a common fallacy at the moment. Equal pay. It's illegal to not pay equal. Like I'm not
Right.
sure.
So one argument is that there's
Well, in Australia, anyway.
gender isn't mentioned in
Could
the
be
award
different.
rate. So
That's it. That's right.
You know
The
what I mean?
award is the award.
Yeah.
I think that where things might come unstuck is that there are a lot of industries where people negotiate their wage. So there's a minimum wage that everybody can be paid, but you can go into your boss and say, I've been here for 5 years. I'm really fucking good at my job. I need to be paid more. And if you can stand your ground, then you'll end up on a higher pay grade than most of the people in your office. And so the question then becomes, is that an easy thing for an average woman to do compared to an average man? It's not easy for me to do. I'd struggle to do that myself as a man.
yeah, but on average, we're
is
less
it-
agreeable.
We're less agreeable.
We're more
on
likely to be
average.
assertive.
Sure.
You know, so we're more likely to ask for pay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, and that can be
Yeah, all
something
that
that
comes-
contributes
yeah.
to a gender pay gap. You know? Because it's like, I'm
babies
not going
is
to
the
pay
big
you
one.
more if you don't ask me to pay you more, but the option is there.
Babies
And,
is the big one.
Babies is the big one, actually.
see, this
Pretty
is
hard to work when you've got a baby.
This to
Yeah.
me is another unique thing about our species, especially as a mammal. A lot of mammals hit the ground running, literally.
Literally.
Like a giraffe is like,
Yeah.
you are now an autonomous adult
That's
running
true.
from a lion
Yeah.
from the minute you hit the ground or
Yeah,
18
yeah.
seconds later.
Yeah.
And
we
we're
have a-
born.
We
We're
have a
born
gestation
vegetables.
period of
Absolutely
9 months
helpless.
and then a dependence period of up to 18 years now or longer.
yeah.
You know?
yeah. Oh, jeez.
So somebody has to provide for us, nurture for us, care for us, all those kinds of things for such
Yeah,
a
man.
long period. And
Yeah.
that's an alien concept, really,
Yeah,
compared
yeah,
to what
yeah.
else
Your average
naturally-
mammal.
all the other species habitating here don't seem to have that problem.
Mm.
We have big heads, which makes childbirth hard.
Mm.
We have we all have bad backs. It's almost like
Yeah.
we belong in a different gravity, you know?
Well, you're
Oh,
tall.
I'm tall.
Fascinating.
I'm tall. I look much more like an alien. I've got no hair.
It's an
I might have that royal blood.
Yeah, must have.
It's easy to
That
get a
blue
sore
blood in
back
you.
when you're tall, though.
Oh yeah.
Way more leverage.
Can't even.
I've had problems with my back since I was a teenager.
Mm.
I'm not tall, man.
Mm.
I'm not short, but I'm definitely not tall.
Mm.
I've had problems with my back too. You're right.
But I think childbirth is unusually hard for our species, isn't it?
Yes.
Like the amount of death we have, and
Yes.
you know,
Well, I've had
There's
6.
Interesting evolution.
You have?
It
Evolution
didn't seem to be too hard.
you look fantastic.
But I'm not the
You recovered well.
I'm not the female though. My wife might say something different.
That might be the difference.
She probably would. She'd have a different perspective, I'm sure.
I was
But
high
that's
five.
But see,
Well
that's
done, sweetheart.
yeah.
Boom.
But that's the thing.
Phew.
If it was all doom and gloom, she wouldn't have had 6, right? So,
Maybe not.
Tigers for
but
punishment.
she definitely would give us a different perspective. You know?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, because
yeah.
I've with my ex, I've got 2 kids as well. Not 6. Oh my god, I can't imagine that. Two's a struggle, man. But you know, I don't live there anymore, so that's it. That's different. But where was I going with that?
I don't know.
I've got
Well,
kids. You've got kids.
It does get easier though.
Yeah,
Your
I've got
first
big
one's
kids.
the
You've got kids
hardest.
too, Luce.
Your last one.
Lucifer.
Lucifer has 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Two
Yeah.
little devils.
Two little devils.
No, they're not little. They're all grown up.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm basically an empty nester. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Me and their mum separated. We split. We were married for 12 years or something. We
Mm.
separated like 8 or 9 years ago.
Mm.
And different reasons. She went off on an event, kind of did her thing, and I raised them. I was like the primary carer for the first 12 months or so.
Yeah, me too, man.
When
With my eldest, I was the primary carer too.
So I had a 10 and 8-year-old, and that was a steep learning curve.
100%. Are they
Looking
boys
after
or girls? Or
So my son's 19, my daughter's 17.
right on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
A pigeon pair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look, back then, that was a different life. I had a government job, own
Mm.
house, real sort of Disney story.
Mm.
Yeah, full of ignorance too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's life.
I wrote this song called Seed, right? And it come from a theme about if you could watch a seed under the ground, I'm sure you heard this. For the seed to grow, it has to completely, what you would be observing, you would think is its destruction. It's completely destroyed and split open in the process of becoming what it's going to grow into.
Mm.
So that's what the song I wrote was about, the seed. You have to destroy the mind and the ego, and it's almost like I experienced this thing that was such incredible suffering. I was lucky to survive, but it was also the catalyst for making me who I am. Like for so
Right.
much growth and amazing things in my life where I have that I have now. You know, the
Yeah.
seed had to be completely destroyed in that sense.
Mm.
You know, whereas it was just under the ground, covered in dirt, in the dark, living this ignorant sort of superficial life. You know.
Yeah. Right. Do you want to play it?
Oh, I don't know if I do.
You know. Okay. That's
Well, you know, the Big Bang was a seed, essentially. The
Yeah.
whole universe
Yeah, I hear
came
what
from
you're
a
saying.
seed.
That's a theory.
I hear what you're saying.
It's. I think it's pretty much scientifically established fact about
Where
the
did
Big
the seed
Bang.
come from?
That's the
Oh,
question.
well, that's
I don't know.
that's
Nobody
the
knows.
eternal question that
Yeah.
you're going to.
Well, can I offer my one theory on that?
Hmm.
Is that everything that we know, everything is a cycle. This is why music's so important. Everything is about revolutions. Everything's about hertz, cycles per second.
Mhm.
Everything's
Mhm. Mhm.
everything is frequency. Now that can be the atoms and the electrons spinning around them and how they marry up to make molecules that make either wood or what we imagine is cardboard or what we imagine is paper, jelly. It's the electrons spinning around the atom. And then we have the earth spinning around the sun. We have everything's to do with frequency and vibration. Our ear picks up the vibration. So what if the expansion of the universe was actually part of a cycle? What if we only, our understanding of time is that we see it as like growing, but what if it's part of a natural
Birth and death.
frequency? It's just vibrating at a frequency that's for our perspective of time is billions of light years per cycle. But we would, because of our finite timeline, as have only existed for 60,000 years or whatever, we only ever see the expansion. You know what I mean? So they'd see because they see the expansion and then theorise that it must have started from what? Where did all the
A
carbon
seed.
come from?
Where did all the
Where
what
did all
come
the
from?
carbon?
Well, I'm thinking carbon, like we're carbon-based life forms, but the volume of carbon in the universe is infinite because the universe. So how do you have an infinite volume of carbon in some finite understanding of it? You know what I mean? It's not.
It is mind blowing. Yeah.
You understand
Yeah,
what
it
I'm
is.
saying, though? We would only see the expansion.
That's right. So you're almost talking like about a fourth dimension, that where maybe even a fifth dimension, where we're living in the third and fourth dimension. So we've got length, depth, and
Yeah.
volume and time runs forward in the fourth dimension. You go into fifth dimension, time is fluid, forward and backwards all at once. So a fifth dimensional being, I believe in all of these extra dimensions. And I believe that if we're living in all of these extra dimensions, we are already fifth, sixth, and seventh dimensional. It's just that our primary experience is in the fourth dimension where time appears to move forward. But there's way more to everything than that. And so I agree with you. This fluidity of time and this cycle, everything runs forwards, backwards, around It's all happening all at once. And so there doesn't necessarily have to be an idea that the universe started. If there's fifth dimension, there's no such thing as starting and finishing. There's just, as you said, cycles. So it's like, it's almost I'm talking well above my pay grade, you know. But like, I really get into all of that quantum theory stuff that goes into all of how it's possible for these dimensions to be existing all at once, and for there to be an infinite number of universes where an infinite number of choices are being made differently. You know.
So why do you think we have such a limited understanding of that? What's its purpose?
Because we can only observe what we can observe.
How does that serve us?
How does it serve us? Well,
But I like the plant analogy, you know, the seed analogy.
I think that
Tiny
I
seed.
really dig the idea.
Big plant.
What Carl Sagan said was that where we are examples of the universe trying to understand itself. But that's us. We're the universe trying to understand itself.
Heavy.
And so we exist on this plane because the universe needs us to, you know, we're as part of the universal plant or the universal whatever it might be, we need to exist on this level because we don't get it. And so we're here questioning it, trying to figure it out as best we can. And that in itself is the reason.
But back to Luke's point.
Lucifer.
If
Yes,
the
Rob
Big
Zombie.
Bang, if the Big Bang was a seed, who's to say how many seeds there were?
Amen. And who's to say how many...
Because I know I've got lots of seeds and I make lots of plants.
Yep. And think about this as well.
And they come from nothing.
How many people, not only how many seeds were there, but how many beings were planting seeds? Was it just the one? Or was there a bunch of them?
Okay.
Planting different types of plants.
Am I allowed to ask questions? Because I'm not
Absolutely.
the interviewer, but...
You're
No,
our
I'm
dude.
interested. You're our guest.
This is your show.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not our show. It's
What
yours.
Lucifer Hellhop Melhop?
I want to hear, Lucifer wants to hear from both of you. What you think is your favourite example of the arts manifesting that what we're talking about, all creations and all. Where has that best been demonstrated in the arts, you reckon?
Probably the opera.
Opera. What's an example? What's like a particular opera?
Carmen's my favourite.
Carmen. I don't know that one. What's that about?
Can you sing us a bit? Refresh our memory. We've heard it.
Toreador. I don't speak Spanish. What's another one? I don't know. Over to you guys.
Opera. So you would
Give
say
us
that
another example.
opera is... Why do you say that opera is the greatest example of that?
Because they combine theatre with music and acting. So it pretty much
Okay.
encompasses most of the arts.
Okay.
And does that make you think about our role in the fifth dimension and time and space? And
No, I don't think like him.
But where have you seen that in the arts?
There's a great band called Tesseract.
Okay.
And a tesseract it's a fourth dimensional cube. It's like you can draw a line, then you can draw a box, then you can draw a cube, then you can draw a cube as it exists in time, and that's a tesseract. And it's not the sort of music that I listen to all the time, but they're so fucking good. And like as I said, like a tesseract is this fourth dimensional cube. There's a picture on the screen right now of what a tesseract looks like. And there's a band called Tesseract, which is like kind of melodic metal. And so a lot of this sort of quantum math shit, a lot of that is expressed through metal bands. And Tesseract, to me, sounds like exactly... The band Tesseract sounds exactly what a band called Tesseract should sound like.
Okay.
This idea of fourth dimensional 3D objects, you know, and then that go on into like just stupid lyrics about maths and shit like that. I just blows my mind. I love it.
Yeah, wow. I'll have to
And
check that out.
in terms of art forms as well, there was a great TV show called Cosmos, which was originally it was by Carl Sagan, and then it was revamped by Neil deGrasse Tyson, and it just goes into all of this stuff. So there's into the beginning of the universe as far as we can understand it, the beginning of our solar system as far as we can understand it, then the beginning of Earth as far as we can understand it, then the beginning of humanity as far as we can understand it. And it's all like super scientific. There's no talk about aliens or anything like that. You know, it's like, don't be ridiculous. Of course, we've never had contact with aliens, and I can't agree with that because I don't know. I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's actually a great art form. That TV show called Cosmos by Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's really good, man. Like, and so you've got all the CGI, you've got orchestral music in the background, you've got this absolute in-depth knowledge of science, of physics, of metaphysics, of quantum physics, of mathematics, all of this sort of shit. So there's one episode in particular that does really dive into that quantum shit, which it's just confusing. There's a lot that's really confusing about quantum physics, but that's another art form that I really dig. Cosmos.
I think you just
and a band
told
called
me.
Tesseract.
I think you just told me why I like theatrical opera,
Explain.
because it's more a psychology thing. Gets into the human as opposed to the universe.
Yeah. So why opera over musicals?
The narrative.
But
it's a
musicals can
human
have great narratives too.
Sorry?
Musicals can have great narratives.
Yeah, musicals are great too. Yeah,
Right.
for sure. Acting, theatre, music, all combined. Yeah.
It's not a competition.
It's not
Although
a competition. No,
musicals kind of went down
Definitely
for a
not.
while. Are they coming back a bit?
I'm not sure. They still exist for Disney.
Awesome.
They're definitely huge in Bollywood.
But the CGI ruins it for me.
Yeah.
I don't like the CGI. I like the humans.
Sure.
What's the most recent musical that come out?
The Lion King came out pretty recently.
Oh, that's very recent.
Remake.
Okay, maybe not that recent.
Yeah.
Oh, Great Showman.
Greatest Showman.
That's a great
Okay,
film
I
and a
haven't seen it.
musical.
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
Have you
really?
seen it?
Really?
Oh, okay.
You've seen it?
Hugh
Recommendation.
Jackman.
Yeah, right. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, it's great.
It's great.
Great film, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very interesting.
What's the
One for
the
the Notebook.
what's the story of,
A lot like
The
that.
Greatest Showman? I don't know
Oh, it's
anything
typical
about it, man.
Disney story of overcoming trials and becoming
Oh yeah, okay.
all the challenges you go through and then
Winning.
becoming super successful, and then there's drama and heartbreak and all that sort of stuff.
In between. Yeah.
Hugh Jackman is a fucking spectacular actor.
He is.
He is.
Entertaining.
And an entertainer. Yeah,
Yeah.
the dancing, the singing, all
Yeah.
dancing, all singing.
That was it's always interesting to see a musical blockbuster, still be relevant,
Absolutely.
where people are
Absolutely.
acting and playing parts,
Yeah.
because it really draws away from. It's like when you're watching actors do a good job and everything's set up, the plant's there, the chair's there, everything's like you get drawn into the movie, you become the character.
Yep. Yep.
If something within that makes it really obvious that it's a movie and you're not in it, someone delivering a line really bad, it's like that's movie's rubbish because you get drawn out of it.
Right on.
Whereas a musical, it's like I'm having this experience, he's talking to his wife, he's arguing with her, blah, blah, then they break into a song.
Breaking
You're
a
like,
song. Yeah. This is completely unrelatable
This
to
is not
reality.
live.
Yeah.
So it has to be good, I think.
Uh-huh.
Makes it that much harder to keep you in the character.
Sure.
When there's a musical and they're dancing and singing, but then it has the added element of how spectacular that is.
Yeah.
Some of the dancing is like I don't know if you've seen where girls will be like, it's like a ribbon. They sort of can. It's like acrobat meets gymnastics, where they sort of can spin up and down in a ribbon and swing around and amazing stuff like that. Yeah. There's a whole scene with that. With their
Oh, really?
hanging from ropes.
That's really
and-
cool.
Because it's based in a circus.
Right.
So.
Okay. Is he like the ringmaster or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
right. That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I got off topic then, but what I did want to say was what you were talking about, the dimensions and stuff. Remind me of an episode of Rick and Morty.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the one where his
I
car
love
breaks
that show.
down?
The car breaks down.
So his battery's flat, right?
Yep.
And
yep.
Morty finds out that Rick has invented this battery that's actually a society, a microscopic society of people who've evolved to the point where they create energy that he's stealing, and that's his car battery. And then there's a problem. So he has to shrink himself, go in there, and he finds out that one of them, they've got a scientist who developed a battery that was, this micro. So it's like the marriage of the. What's that movie?
I know what you're talking
DiCaprio
about.
going into the dreams.
Inception.
It's like Inception meets
Sounds like
sci-fi.
Yeah.
And they get right down to this battery with this really backward
That's right. And
sounds like
these guys are now pumping the foot pedals.
It sounds like that old creationist story where
the ultimate dimension, which is Rick's dimension, now has no power because there's nobody pumping power. They're just being more efficient. But it's like, I don't want you to be more efficient. I want you to run my car.
The genius in the comedy is that it's such a interesting topic and something people talk about. What if we're just like deliberately made? What if we're mold in a jar, and we've developed the civilization? It takes that, and the comedy of it is that it's so insignificant. It's just to start his car. It's like that's the genius.
He created an entire universe to run his fucking car.
Just to start it.
You remind me of that whole ancient philosophy or theory where the world is on top of infinite turtles.
Oh, the turtles.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Dig
Layers.
down and infinite
and
turtles.
Layers. Yeah. Oh, there's plenty of crazy theories out there. Yeah.
Where does that one come from? The turtles. Is that Japanese?
I think it might have been Babylonian.
Babylonian.
I'm not 100% sure there.
Yeah.
It's an old one.
And also there was
a
novelist called Terry Pratchett who wrote sci-fi comedy books, like just a slew of sci-fi comedy books. And it was called the Discworld series. And so that totally relied on that concept that there was the disc literally on top of 4 fucking elephants on top of a giant fucking turtle drifting through space.
Flat Earth.
Flat Earth on the back. I like Hollow Earth. That one makes me really laugh. Flat Earth is great, but Hollow Earth, my God, we're actually on the inside. We're not on the outside, man. It's all just, it's just waves, man. It's just perspective. We're on the inside of the Earth. What? Fuck off with. But tell me more. It's hilarious.
Yeah. When you wake up in the morning and you hear the work bell ring and the march to the table, see the same old thing. Ain't no food upon the table, ain't no pork up in the pan. But you better not complain, boy. You get in trouble with the man. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine another light on me. Yonder come Miss Rosie, how the world did know. By the way she wore her apron and the clothes she wore. Piece of paper in her hand. Oh, she's off to see the governor. She's gonna free her man. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the Halloween special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. better not gamble. And you better not fight. Or sheriff, he'll grab you. And the boys will bring you down. And the next thing you know, boy, you're prison bound. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine an ever-loving light on me.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely. A lot of people not getting to grade 7.
Yeah. Quitting early to get a trade or something.
I shouldn't laugh because there's
What's your trade,
plenty.
Luke?
Youth work, yeah.
Youth work.
Yeah.
Youth work.
If
How long
I
have
had
you been doing
If I had
that?
a trade, I did that for 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, you must have heard and seen some horrible shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in some unusual situations.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. It's a hard job. I'm really happy to be out of it now, having a break from it, or indefinitely.
Mm-hmm.
Because it carries a pretty heavy burden. It's kind of a two-pronged attack where it's like you experience really sad stories. You're taking care of children who have had, horrific experiences. So there's that sort of emotional pull that sort of you try not to be attached to. The flip side is the behaviours that manifests as, is them just constantly abusing you or violence or, you're just a subject to.
complaining that you're 10 minutes late because the other person spoke so long.
Yeah, but see, I worked at detention for 10 years, so there was a lot of violence. There was a lot of, it was almost like you could walk into work and there was just a climate, an atmosphere of aggression or, that just always existed as part of the job. So it's like a two-pronged attack on your emotional resilience or longevity.
Yeah, and you're just trying to help.
Yeah.
So you're a cog that kind of gets stuck in the wheels sometimes.
Yeah, there's only so much.
Especially with the legals. Yeah.
We can moan about funding for child safety or funding for youth justice or funding for our resources, But there's only so much you can do. You just work with what you got. But
Yeah, you do your best.
I had this theory that those types of industries like AMBOs, police, prison officers and fireys and all that, the difference between them and someone who's done, say, a tour of duty in Afghanistan as a soldier, they might be exposed to horrific trauma, for a tour where there's, blown up babies and people shot dead and all that sort of stuff. So they get this trauma. Whereas people who do it for over a long period of time, to a lesser degree, like an AMBO seeing horrible accidents or police, they get a different type of trauma.
Or a social worker or a psychologist hearing about multiple traumas.
So it's more like this cumulative adrenal fatigue kind of trauma, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
I understand what you're saying.
Because people can come out of those jobs with
that's what
PTSD, and it's not necessarily pinpointed
one
to
particular
one event.
incident. Yeah, it's just the
one
whole
tour of
lot
duty.
of it. Yeah,
yeah, it's definitely like some of the ex-servicemen, from the emergency services and stuff. Yeah, they got real problems.
Yeah. Sigmund Freud's label for that was transference.
There you go. It's a real thing.
What? Can you expand on that? I'm not really sure.
Where
exactly you
the
mean?
trauma of somebody else or the anxiety or the depression of somebody else or multiple years and years and multiple people gets transferred onto you.
I see, transferred.
Yeah.
So it's their trauma. The trauma. Say you're in the emergency services, you are constantly dealing with people who are in trauma.
Absolutely, yeah.
And their trauma over time has a massive effect on you. It's transferred to you. Transference. Okay.
Not 100%.
As well as your own experience from their behaviour.
Well,
from
that's
them
right,
trying
man.
to stab you. Or,
But that's how
Yeah.
he tried to explain it in those kind of cases.
That's how Sigmund Freud tried to say it. And
That was his label.
He's
Yeah.
like that's like 60 years old, isn't it? 70 years old. His theories.
What's a more recent label?
Surely there's been an expansion of that and a evolution of the term.
A new label?
Not necessarily a new label, a deeper understanding of the issue.
Oh, these days they call it work-related stress or burnout. I think burnout's the most recent term. There might be another one. They change labels all the time.
I'll tell you what's interesting, if I can run with a thought here.
No.
Okay, I'll let it go.
Shut up.
Savage.
Just get that noodle and bash him.
Hit me in the head. That's what it's there for.
He's like the devil
That's for
himself.
Yeah, yeah.
Just grab that noodle. If he pisses you off, grab that noodle and just bash him.
There's this Halloween theme thing. There's so many weapons. It's like,
You didn't bring your swords.
Don't use the hammer though, but
No.
feel free to use the
That's
noodle.
like this is concussion material. We don't want that. Anyway, what's this thought that you wanted to?
well, the fact that
run
we're sitting here getting a long fine, and people can do that. 20,000 people in a stadium. We don't bash each other to death.
Mm-hmm.
You know, doesn't erupt into chaos. Now,
I
to
wasn't
me-
asking for chaos. I was
To me-
just asking you to bash him.
so this is what this is my own crazy thought, but or accumulation of things I've learned too, I guess. But I think that our species, okay, so we sort of fall somewhere between a predator and prey, right?
Yes.
But we don't have sharp claws and we don't have the same, speed as a predator. You know, but we've got an advanced brain where we can hunt. But I think so. What our survival relied on community. We relied on being tribal.
Yes, it does.
Right?
Yes.
So the implications of that is that if you were rejected and abandoned and expelled by your community, you would literally die because you're in the forest walking on your own and you can't survive, right? You're
Still
gonna become
happens.
prey.
Yeah, it does.
So wired into our emotional journey, our emotional systems is that our response to rejection, abandonment, betrayal, is identical to seeing a shark when you're swimming. It's like your body just reacts with the same. It pumps adrenaline, pumps out.
Yeah. Fight
you
or
get
flight.
Tunnel vision, you get all that sort of stuff. Exactly, like lizard brain response.
Yeah.
So we're geared in such a way that we will always, default will always be to have relationships and connection.
Mm-hmm. That's what led to our dominance.
Yeah,
Is our community.
yeah.
That and led to a whole heap of things. For sure. I agree with you.
And demise as well.
How so?
If you're talking group psychology, it causes all the wars as well.
Us versus
So-
them kind of thing.
You're divisive as well.
It can be protection and it can also be demise.
Mm.
So,
But
bit of
even still, that's better than isolation.
Oh,
both
yeah,
of those
sure, if
outcomes
you're
are better than
isolated, You're not
isolation.
going to last
Yeah.
long, no.
No.
Yeah.
Good Alexander Supertramp.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie Into the Wild?
Probably.
It's really
Yes,
good.
mate.
It's this guy. He's like just finished college. He comes from a rich background. This is Robbie's favorite movie, actually. So he'll be able to tell you the story better than I would.
One
I
of
think.
my favourite movies.
One of your favorites. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
That's
number
good too,
one. I
yeah.
know it. But yeah, he goes out into the wild. He's like, fuck society. I'm gonna go survive by myself in the wild. I'm gonna eat berries. I'm gonna kill moose. And so there's a little bit of a one of the things I like about it is a brilliant movie, man. One of the things I like about it is that it's a bit like what's that Dennis Hopper film? Like the American Road Trip, the classic American Road Trip film. They're on the motorbikes. Dennis Hopper. It'll come back to me.
Can't help you.
Yeah, if I don't remember right now, I'll ask Jeeves a bit later and I'll put the title on the screen. But anyway, it's like this classic American road trip thing where they go out on the road and they just meet all kinds of weird and wonderful people. And have these amazing experiences with a whole bunch of different types of people that are very accepting of them for who they are. And so Alexander Supertramp, who's the protagonist in Into the Wild, he does the same thing. That, you know, he meets this old man that's just like, please, you're going to die in the wilderness. Please stay here with me. I'll adopt you. And then he meets this couple that are just like, they're kind of transient themselves. And so they get where he's coming from, but they're just like, dude, you're going to die. You're going to fucking die. Don't isolate yourself. Don't do it. And so he meets a bunch of people like that on his journey into the wild. But he really, really, really insists on isolating himself, and he fucking dies. And it's a true story. It's based on a true story. This really happened to this kid. Great soundtrack too. Eddie Vedder wrote all the music. Fucking good. I don't get into Pearl Jam. His voice usually kind of annoys me, that thing. But the music in this film is brilliant. The story's great. The characters are great. Why did I bring up Into the Wild? Oh, isolation. You know, isolation is the death of us, man.
Yeah.
Isolation is the cause of addictions and of just suicide and
It's emotional isolation.
emotional isolation and
See,
all of that shit.
What I was saying is that built into the function. Okay, so the way that connection works, one of the big parts is empathy. Right, we're empathetic to other people, and that's how we. You're talking about the transference. So we experience empathy when we see someone who's having trouble or problems, or and that's
100%.
That's not like, oh, we're nice people and we have good virtues. That's
For real.
like a evolutionary necessity for us to be communal.
100%.
Our survival relies on us being able to experience empathy and try to lift one another up. And what's interesting is we can also feel that for different species.
Yes, we can.
I don't know if
yes,
other
we
species
can.
do that. Like, I don't think like a lizard gets sad when he sees a cheetah kill a gazelle. And you know what's next level weird is that we can watch it on TV. It can be photons
can
of
be
light being
faked.
shot out of a
That's
valve.
right. It can be faked.
No,
and
no,
we'll
but
still
even real footage.
just trick. Yeah. Sure.
Like
Sorry.
you see something sad, like that's real footage, like
Yeah,
real life
yeah,
executions, or footage of Attenborough. You know, you can feel empathy for that, mama gazelle or whatever. It's like,
It's not just human.
how's that transferred, like from a different time, in a
Yeah.
different place, through a valve in the back of a screen? It's like,
Yeah.
It's not just humans, all mammals.
you think other mammals are empathetic?
It depends on if they're communal, like you said. Like if you get a herd of lions and one of their cubs die, they mourn.
But would they
Get
mourn
a
a
herd
different?
of elephants.
Would they mourn a gazelle?
Would they mourn a different species?
No, not at all.
And I think that's unique to us.
No.
Dogs
Oh,
mourn.
definitely,
Dogs
yeah.
mourn humans. If you've got a dog and you die, the dog will mourn.
But it might mourn the loss of the companionship, not necessarily feel empathy for. It might not feel
That's a
bad
good
about
point,
others.
actually. Dogs are so loyal. They do mourn.
They mourn. They'll mourn their owners.
Cats won't mourn.
But you don't have to have
They
to.
do.
Oh, they might
do.
a little bit, I guess.
I think they
but
do.
they're not as obvious.
No.
Dogs will howl and cry.
Yeah.
But what about with no direct connection?
Well, no, I don't think they've got the capacity.
And maybe it's related to tribal species versus carnivores. How would a carnivore function as a carnivore if it was empathetic towards other species? It would go starve, wouldn't it? Like it has to not have that part of its brain. It says, I'm hurting this baby gazelle and its mum is sad,
Well, they got to eat, so they switch it off. If it's there, it's switched off. It's food. That's food, man.
I don't know if they have it.
I don't feel
Well,
sorry.
dog
for,
is
I
a
don't
carnivore
feel. I don't
by
feel sorry for
definition.
chickens. You know, I don't feel sorry for chickens. It's food. I don't feel sorry for cows. It's food. But I do feel sorry if I see a horse. Like I feel sorry for horses.
Yeah.
You know,
Why?
without a direct connection. You know, and
What
I
do you
think you're
feel
right.
sorry
That
about
that
horses
really.
for?
No, if I see, like, say the Melbourne Cup, there's a lot of reasons why I don't like the Melbourne Cup, but
Oh, you don't like
knowledge-
the horse racing.
the knowledge that after the Melbourne Cup, generally speaking, 3 of those horses are going to get shot,
Yeah, so they'll
and so I feel empathy for the horses that are going to get shot because they didn't run fast enough.
Mm.
You know, but a dog.
Don't get
couldn't-
shot because
a
they
dog-
didn't run fast enough. They get shot
dog-
because they broke a leg in the race.
A dog.
And
Yeah.
then once
So
they
why
break
the
a
fuck
leg,
are you
they're
racing
fucked.
them? Yeah. So why the fuck do you race them? It's stupid, if you ask me. But a dog wouldn't understand that concept that some horse is being forced to run by some human. It did this, and now it's dog food. It's not going to care. It can't possibly understand that advanced concept because, again, it comes back to we got brains, so we can make bigger connections than almost everybody. I think a good question would be, do chimps feel empathy for other species? Because apparently they're our closest neighbours. Some alien came down and fucked a chimp, got AIDS, spread it intergalactically or whatever.
Starseed.
Spread some new starseed.
But, you know,
Does
they
it-
say,
you know,
they say
but-
we're 98% chimpanzees, but we're 97.99999% pig. It's like it's not really.
We're very close to pig. Yes.
We're 103% dolphin. I don't know.
Yeah. Do dolphins feel empathy? Who knows? It's impossible.
Question.
It's impossible for us to know, I think, because we can't speak the same language.
No, I
man.
think dolphins can because dolphins will protect humans, for example, from sharks.
That's true.
Which means that they would not like to experience seeing a human be hurt. And
Right.
that's empathy, cross-species empathy.
That makes sense.
Dolphins should hate our fucking guts. We're catching them in nets every fucking day.
We are terrible to dolphins, yeah.
Yeah.
So why would
Yeah.
they fucking feel
We're terrible to
empathy
we're
for us?
terrible to anything that we can exploit.
Yeah.
We really are.
Yeah. We'll capture a dolphin, which pretty much has as far as I understand, has the same kind of brain capacity that we do. We catch them and make them perform tricks for the children,
If not greater.
if not greater.
They potentially could have been more advanced than us, but they're
They just
Maybe
don't
the-
have hands.
not landlocked.
Don't have hands.
Yeah. Not landlubbers.
They can't pick up shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't need to. They're too smart for that shit.
You know, I was
Too smart for that shit.
I saw this bloody monkey. I saw this monkey doing the what's the thing where you they test out how fit people are and they run up the wall
Oh,
and they
yeah.
swing along the thing. What is that? The TV show.
Oh, not American Gladiator. That was where it all started. But oh yeah, I've seen that shit.
Yeah, I'm
I've
talking
seen
about
that
the
shit
swing
before.
across the stuff.
Yeah. I've definitely seen it.
It's like Who Dares Wins or something like that.
No, it's a-
Yeah.
I can't believe I can't think of the name. Anyway, they had a monkey doing it. I'm like, okay, but he's got like 4 arms and a tail.
Yeah.
Of course he's good at it. He just like he does it so much faster than the people. you
Of
know.
course. Yeah. I saw
Gee.
an episode of that where a guy was just about to start. He's all focused, and then a streaker comes out.
He come out. He did all right too.
He did all
He was
right,
pretty
man.
good.
It's so funny.
What was that show called?
Oh man, I can't remember.
Anyway, everyone knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, we'll ask Jeeves if we need to. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Who's Jeeves? Jeeves knows me.
Ask Jeeves.
Ask Google.
Ask Jeeves
Google,
was the name of a search engine. Ask
shit.
Jeeves was the name of a search
Was it?
engine in the mid-90s, and it was fucking shit.
Was it no
It
good?
was so shit.
Oh.
Like, so it was basically you had Alta Vista, Yahoo, and Ask Jeeves. And Ask Jeeves was kind of the DuckDuckGo, the slightly more anonymous one.
Yeah.
But
It was a
It
cheap
was
imitation, was it?
yeah,
Was
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Was it the home brand of?
It was,
search
yeah, it was kind
engine?
of like the no frills.
Home brand.
Yeah, no frills.
Was it the Diddy?
No frills, no cookies kind of shit.
Was it the Diddy of ride sharing?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just.
With all the fucking YouTube ads that has. Diddy. Yeah, so I say ask Jeeves instead of Google it because I think it's ridiculous. But I'm a DuckDuckGo kind of man.
I just had a thought about something that I'm a bit triggered by.
Okay.
I get upset about with this when you're talking about the Diddy ads. So we stream so much stuff now, right? We listen to music on Spotify, YouTube. Now they put up content that we make. Songwriters, people making YouTube videos, they put up content, they put commercials in it, they're going to make a profit,
Yeah.
right? And then you get a split. And people obviously are not necessarily happy, or they are happy about how small that split is, especially with Spotify or whatever. YouTube. Now, Facebook has ads all the way through it. Through every video you try and watch.
Oh, yeah.
None of the content creators get a cent. So if I put a video of me singing a song and it gets 3,000 views, and every time someone tries to watch it, there's a Facebook ad, and every time they try to talk to me in Messenger, now you got a list of people you just messaged and an ad in the middle. It's like you are flooded with advertisements in Facebook, and none of the content creators get a cut. Now, how do they get away with that? Why don't I get royalties for my content on Facebook?
It's probably a conversation best left off the podcast.
Well, maybe let's have a break and we'll talk about it. I could do with a cigarette.
I've got a theory, but it's not
We're going to go.
non-controversial.
We're going to go theorize.
We've got some editing to
and
do.
we're going to go theorize, and we'll be back in a tick.
Creation's fire from the air and the sun. Crooked-hearted with a broken smile, she sat in the morning light and towards a time when sleep is rest for the weekend. But his wounds will not heal, and his scars she can't reveal. Blue candlelight, please forgive me, she cries. Mother to the ocean, child to the skies. Lord, give her peace, let us say goodbye. White blood, white sheets, white hallways, and then people in white dress. Yeah, when I heard new cries that I won't forget, 'cause my pulse is running wild. But these wounds will not heal, and the scars she can reveal. Blue candlelight, please forgive me, she cries. Mother to the ocean, child to the skies. Lord, give her peace, let us say goodbye.
Powerful stuff. So where can people
Thank
catch
you.
this Lucifer Hellhop gigs? Where do you play, man?
On tour.
Yeah. in a town near you.
Down near you.
If
Yeah,
you
I
live
play
in
up-
Ipswich.
Well, like, there's basically only 2 agents I work for.
Yeah.
The rest I try and do
Man.
direct. And so they usually send me out west, Toowoomba and Chinchilla and stuff like
Yeah, okay.
that.
Way out west.
Yeah, so I play there. I've played Sunny Coast and Gold Coast, Brisbane. Playing Gold Coast tonight.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bit of
Cool,
a trip.
man.
Yeah, Gold Coast Surfers tonight. Last
Yeah,
week I
yeah.
played South Bank Friday, Chinchilla Saturday, Toowoomba Sunday.
Wow, that's a lot of
Yeah.
travel.
Yeah, I
in
do
a
a
couple
lot
of
of
days,
miles.
man.
Do a lot
Yeah.
of miles. Last year I was doing some gigs in Mount Isa.
Wow. Okay, like the mines and shit.
Yeah, just a venue up there.
Sure.
For all of August I was in Thailand playing on an island in Gulf there called Koh Tao. It's like a
Wow.
Turtle Island, yeah.
Cool,
Played there for a
man.
pub crawl.
Yeah.
I'll probably go back there. I'm hoping to go back there February. And
What's the island called again?
Koh Tao.
Koh Tao.
Yeah.
Koh Tao.
Koh Tao, yeah.
Oh, right. Like coattail.
It's
But
like,
not.
most of the islands are like the Koh
How do you
Samui,
spell that?
Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, Koh Tao. So Tao's like T-A-O.
T-A-O, like K-H-O.
K-O-H, yeah.
K-O-H.
Oh, sometimes it's spelled K-H-O, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Wow, man. That's really cool.
I never even touched the mainland though. Like when I flew, I went from Singapore straight to Koh Samui
Mm.
Island.
Mm.
Got a ferry from there to Koh Phangan, where the full moon party is,
Oh,
which
yeah.
I went to while I was there. It was pretty wild.
Gotta love a full moon party, man.
There was like another 2-hour ferry ride to Koh Tao, so it's like wow, in the middle of nowhere. It's the end of the world. It's just paradise.
Yeah. Oh,
That
wow.
was awesome. So I'm going to go back there February. But I'm hoping that's going to be a bit of a first of many of travelling to play music. You know?
Yeah, man. Here's hoping.
Trying to make contacts in
Yeah.
other places and get around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, I'm just playing around Southeast Queensland mainly, and getting more and more private bookings bit by bit. You know,
Nice.
more people
Nice.
for parties and weddings and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
Getting some direct
And,
through my website. And
In case you don't know, Lucifer Hellhop here hosts the Royal Mail Jam once a month. So every 4 weeks they've got a cycle of bands. They've got you, Dillian, Cecil Nunes, and Marvin and George.
Marvin George hosts.
Yeah, so every 4 weeks. So you're there, and it's a Thursday, right?
Thursday
Still a
Arvo.
Thursday. Thursday Arvo's at the Mail, man. Get along. So Lucifer Hellhop over here is like a piece of the furniture at the best pub in the fucking world called the Royal Mail Hotel at Goodna. So do it. Do yourself a favour. Get along to the jam.
Got some gigs coming up there too. I've got a Friday night coming up next
Nice one, man.
month.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, so try and get more direct bookings where I can.
sure. And so you said you work with an agent?
A couple of the
A couple of agents, right.
main agent I work for is Rock Art.
Rock Art. Rock Art.
Yeah,
There's a link on screen
Rock
now.
Art.
Yeah, Rock
Yeah,
Art.
that's Louis Monticelli. So he's the best agent. He's so good.
Yeah,
But
sweet.
he's sort of semi-retired, which is a pity because now he just handles a couple of venues.
Oh, okay.
He's
So-
probably got a lackey though, right?
Someone
Probably
to
got
pass the
someone who's
torch on.
gonna
Yeah.
pass the
I
torch
don't
on to.
think so. I don't think it
Oh.
works
No?
like that. It's so competitive, isn't it? They're always chopping each other's,
Oh.
undercutting each other and stuff. But
Who's your other agent?
I do some for Queensland Entertainment.
Yeah.
Scobie, yeah. So
Oh, okay. Queensland Entertainment.
yeah, he's the one that puts me out.
Right. Yeah, cool, man.
He
Yeah.
handles a few other venues too.
Okay.
Louis, I've played for over 10 years.
Ah.
But we've had a long working relationship, and the main venue I play at, I play there almost weekly, like pretty much weekly. It's like, but not a residency where it's every Thursday. It's like sometimes I'll have a band on a Saturday night, sometimes I'll have a duo on the Friday, sometimes I'll play solo on the Sunday.
Mm.
Like I've had, and I get random calls up, so like playing Wednesday for Valentine's Day or something, you know, last year. Well, they might have a function. I played there a couple of weeks ago, and it was like supposed to be Sunday, Sunday Arvo, yeah, it's pretty chill, but they had this big food and wine festival on. John Farnham or someone big was playing in the park. And so when that was, they expected that when that ended, they might get a crowd. I played like from 6, played a couple of hours, and I'm like, yeah, there's not much here, not
Dead.
much happening. You know?
Right.
And I'm thinking about half an hour, 9:30, I'm like, I'll be going home in half an hour. that's when like 300 people poured in. It was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're like, "Stay, keep playing."
Yeah.
And they compensated me well for
Pay
it.
me and I will.
Yeah, there's no DJ, and I just rock. I like literally stopped for broken strings, and that was it. Like,
Wow.
just playing.
Oh, that would have been so much fun.
They got like 6 hours of content in 5 hours. Yeah,
Yeah.
Got some muso overtime.
yeah, a bit of
Yeah.
music.
Yeah,
They looked
yeah.
after me, and they always do. It's a fantastic venue.
What's the venue called?
Fitzy's. In
Fitzy's.
Toowoomba on Margaret Street.
Fitzy's. Margaret Street, Toowoomba.
The front bar is a tapestry bar. I've played there forever. And
Mhm.
the sort of restauranty bit down the back is a church bar.
What does that mean, a church bar?
Well, it's actually
It's where priests get pissed.
it's next to a big
Rape
church.
children? I'm not sure. How does this work?
I think it's next because it's on Church Street.
Oh, it's on. Okay.
Because
okay.
so Fitzy's venue sort of runs from the Maiden Street, Margaret Street, right through to Church Street. So the Margaret Street bar is a tapestry bar, and it's sort of real cool, and there's sort of the tall tables, you know, sit high and have some
Yeah,
tappers or whatever. But Friday, Saturday night, it's rocking hard from 9 p.m. You know.
Mm.
Down the back, it's like a really nice restaurant, big open plan area, and then but then they'll have like a DJ turn into a nightclub.
All right.
Crazy, big crowds in there, all different ages. I'll be playing. There's a whole lot of young people, and you know.
Does it get rough there at all?
No, it's
No,
rough.
good.
No, it's really good. It's
Okay,
What's your
that's great,
definition
that's
of
great.
rough?
Right, as in, do people get punchy like they do?
Violent.
no.
Like at the
No.
people get punchy.
I'm not going to comment
rough.
on other venues being negative.
I am.
whatsoever.
I am. I've been in there for like a Wednesday drink and they're still mopping up blood from the night before.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
From
It's
a
a place
Tuesday
that gets
night.
punchy.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
But
No, it's-
this is not a rough place. That's great, man.
No, security's really
That's
good.
fucking
Like,
yeah, good.
A lot of security guards there. I'm friends with. I'm even friends with one of them on Facebook. You know, just like because I've been working there so long. I guess you sort of get to know.
Mm, mm,
Staff are
mm.
amazing. You know, boss is nice. I don't know.
That's
Yep.
great, man. Because you can't say that about every venue. You know, that's a diamond in the rough. That's fucking
I'm
great.
reluctant to say it about any venue because
Mm.
working relations.
I know
with
what you
them
mean.
all, but
Yeah.
I, you know,
You get
But
your
But that's what you're saying is that this is a place that deserves high praise. It's like
in
me
Toowoomba
saying
it does definitely.
it's
And
like me saying the fucking Royal Mail
And the
is the best
Mail-
pub in the world.
the Mail is like
high praise for high quality fucking place.
Fitzy's has got good entertainment, good meals. You know,
Mm-hmm.
nice venue, good atmosphere. The Mail to me is family. The Mail is the last
100%.
bar in the world that's like
For
the show
real.
Cheers, where you literally walk in there and it's your family.
For real, man.
They don't have security and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Everyone would be like,
Everyone that's there
They are
is
security.
right?
That's
It's like
true.
because we don't want people fucking up our fucking
That's
venue,
true.
you know.
If someone came in and started shit, they'd
It
have
happens, man.
everybody on
That's
them.
it. And it gives off that vibe that if you're there starting shit, everybody starts
That's-
staring at you.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
theme song.
You know,
would suit it.
they'll fucking stare at you.
Yeah.
And so
Sometimes-
most people just sort of bugger off.
Yeah.
Like there was a time that I was there and some junkie fella that I'd never seen before was there. He was trying to steal my cigarettes. Like he sat real close to me, then like grabbed my
You
smokes
serenade you.
and then brought them this
Oh,
way.
he's got to steal
And then he
my
tried to
ciggies
stand.
from
Then he
me.
tried to stand up. And I'm like, "Are you right, mate? You got my smokes." Oh, sorry. And I saw, I sort of looked around for backup if this went
It's all
south,
there.
and I noticed regulars sitting here watching the entire thing, and I heard, Aaron. Aaron's just said to Marvin, something could go down here. You know, just like something like because we're fucking watching each other because it's family, man. We look
Yeah.
out for each other there.
Mhm.
And if some idiot junkie comes along who's new, who's fresh, who doesn't understand the way the fucking world is at the Royal Mail, tries to start some shit, it's not going to happen because everyone's watching and there are people there that are like security guards. I'm not the sort of guy that would go and like punch on if someone's doing the wrong thing. But there are people at the Mail that will. You know, that will just be like, right, it's time to punch on and we'll fucking kick this cunt out.
Can you imagine, just imagine, some random trying to punch Andy?
Oh,
How much
he'd be
shit
dead.
they would be in?
No fucking way.
Holy
Fuck
shit.
that
You'd be
guy.
better off waving your schlong at a crocodile.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Too fucking right, man.
Less
Absolutely.
Mate, they would have an army on them
Yep,
straight
yep.
away.
And he's a shark himself,
Mm.
right? He's the fucking great white shark that runs the place
Mm.
as well. And he knows he's got an army around him too.
He
It ain't
definitely
gonna
has an
happen.
army. Yeah.
But it's peaceful, you know. It's like
It is.
It's-
It's not
it's
a. It's
friendly.
not.
No, that's right.
That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah. You're talking about
And
keeping
we're,
the peace.
yeah, we're trying. Yeah, exactly. I'm talking about
Mm.
keeping the peace. You need peacekeepers.
But can
right?
you
And so there are people there.
And they're
that-
all peacekeepers.
we're all peacekeepers, and there's people that'll fucking grab you by the scruff of your
it's
neck
not-
and throw you onto the street.
That's right. It's not a place to be afraid of.
No.
Everybody
Absolutely
there's
not.
a peacekeeper,
Everybody
just
is there.
don't
to
go
have a
there
great
looking for
time with
trouble.
Great music.
Or you'll
That's
get trouble.
the vibe at the Mail. Everyone that's there, from the fucking the elderly couple that are just there, sitting there quietly watching the music, to the fucking bikies outside. They're all there to have a good time in a safe place and listen to some good music from start to finish. That whole spectrum.
And it's a family, like you said.
And it's a
Luke.
family. It's a fucking
venues
family.
venues don't have that atmosphere anymore. What
A
venue
lot
can you go
don't,
to
no.
It's the
where,
only place
where
I know,
everybody
man.
knows your name? Like
Yeah, it's
everyone's
the only
friends.
place I know. The Mail's where it's at. The buck stops there. for me.
Sometimes you wanna go
In this hood,
where
anyway.
everybody knows your
In our
name.
hood, in southeast Queensland. Yeah, yeah,
Well, it's supposed to be the number one.
Cheers.
It's supposed to be the number one blues venue in the country, isn't it?
Yes.
Well,
It's-
definitely the one that I know of, yeah.
number one. Number
I
one.
can't
man.
think of another, but I'm
People wanna
not
play
well
there.
travelled.
Yeah.
Been to Sydney, Melbourne, that's it.
I think it's amazing acts. Always great entertainment.
Yep. You can just go there, hang out, and know
You
it's
can
going to
see
be
Mason
quality.
Rack, and you can see 8 Ball play there, and you can see
Dallas to Dillian to Blues Arcadia.
Blues Arcadia.
Yeah. To Power, great
Oh.
reggae band.
Have you heard from him?
He's doing all right, actually. Our mate Norms. from
He's
Power.
so funny. Hope we get him as a guest.
Oh, I'd love that, man. I'd really love that. I know he's definitely expressed an interest, but he's selling his business. If you want to buy a barbershop at Inala Plaza, write to us.
Who doesn't?
You don't need a barbershop.
At scatologypodcast@gmail.com. If you want to buy a barbershop at Inala Plaza, we know a guy that's selling. And the sooner he sells, the sooner he can be a guest on our show. He's also the guitarist from Power. So he's the rhythm guitarist, man. And he's so groovy. He just sits on that bubble.
Do you know him,
He's so
Luke? No?
good.
No.
No, I'm getting the I don't know
His
him
name's
vibe.
Norman.
Okay.
He's a fucking champion, man. So he'll only play the Mail.
Oh,
like
man,
once
you
or
got to
twice.
sit down and chat to him. He's got.
Yes,
He's one of
fucking
those
funny,
guys
man.
who knows every joke in the book.
Yeah.
Like, he can just rattle off
Like dad jokes or good
Oh,
one?
great jokes. But he can rattle them off like it's
He's
a dictionary
hilarious,
in his
man.
head.
He's hilarious. Really hilarious.
He's
Well,
one
we're
of
all
those
dads.
dudes.
We're all dads. We're allowed to have dad jokes.
Yep.
We're qualified.
Exactly.
You just say really corny stuff.
Mm.
I do that sometimes.
That's something we haven't spoken about. It's fatherhood. All fathers.
That's
Fatherhood.
right. We're all fathers.
Yeah.
I don't have girls. That's the thing that sets us
You
apart.
got 2 boys?
I got 2 boys.
I got a boy and a girl, and you got
I've got 5 girls, 1 boy.
girls.
Yeah.
Wow.
Estrogen, synced up periods.
I know what that's like.
Teenagers. Jesus, I don't envy you, man.
That's rough.
I don't know, man. I
had
don't
4
know
big
which
sisters,
ones.
and it's like
Yeah.
a lot of women in one house.
Mhm.
Bullied me. They were mean. My big sisters.
Yeah.
Oh,
But they're
yeah,
not
okay.
physically violent.
They were not. Yeah, they were.
Were they?
They bullied me, but then they liked to dress me up too, put makeup on me and dress. They
That
thought I was their
happened-
Oh,
doll.
I had 2 older sisters. They did
Really?
the same shit to me when I was a kid.
Oh, bugger that.
Yeah,
Like,
bugger
thank
that.
God there wasn't social media back then.
Yeah,
Could you imagine that? Like, that literally would have been on Instagram, would have been on everything.
exactly. It would have been all over the
But,
place.
oh,
man.
that cute little
Well,
brother.
thankfully, my son's the second one, so
Mm.
he didn't have a bunch on top of him doing that.
Mm.
'Cause
Yeah,
that
I
would
had
be-
2 older sisters.
They beat
That's
me
my
up.
family.
that'd be
beat
They
me
beat you up.
They bullied me until I
Holy
was.
fuck.
Then I outgrew them. I was alright.
Oh, you became the tall
You got
one.
stronger.
Yeah, then I was alright.
You grew the biceps and the shoulders,
But,
and
but
they went.
that being said, it was good because they would like date footballers and stuff, who had my back and be like, get into some trouble at the blue light disco, some shit going down, you know, like.
Oh, defending your siblings, yeah.
And then
That always
Yeah.
sucks.
no, just my own business. But then like my sister's boyfriends would like have my back, big footballers and stuff. So it was kind of, in some ways, as good as having a big brother.
Yeah,
The big brother
yeah.
might have said, "Fucking fight your own battles." Mate.
Yeah.
No, no,
Whereas,
I've
you
had
know,
to
the girls,
defend
they're
my
like-
brother a lot of
They're
times.
like, "Oh, go and help my brother."
Yeah. Yeah.
They go chuck people around.
Jeremy knows that.
What we saying?
I've had to defend Al heaps of times.
Oh yeah, Al gets himself into trouble, man.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's Big Al's his younger brother.
yeah.
Mm.
We're
And,
just two boys. Yeah,
Yeah. Robbie still fights a lot of Al's battles.
Yeah.
yeah, kinda.
Has been since '82. Fighting
Since
Big Al's
ever.
battles.
Yeah,
But that's meaning, man.
Mm.
yeah.
But that's
Well,
meaning.
what do you do?
Purpose in that.
It's family. What do? You look after
Yeah.
him at the end. Of course. That's what you do.
Blood's thicker than water.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
You know what else is thicker than water?
What?
Shit. And let's keep talking shit on the Scatology podcast.
And orange juice.
And orange juice is thicker than
This
water.
pulpy stuff is.
Oof.
I
I
need to-
like
I
the
need to-
pulp.
I
The
think
pulp's good.
It's good, but I think to pulpy it a bit less, I should put vodka in it.
Oh yeah,
More
that'll
vodka,
do it.
mate.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
Less pulpy.
Might make it hard to drive to the Gold Coast, but hey,
That's
it's all
true.
one big crapshoot. Anywho,
Have to get an Uber. Hey.
holy shit, we'll have to start paying our guests if we want you to fucking Uber
Not
out
that-
here. Jesus,
I was going to say, they're not that cheap, are they?
no, not to the Gold Coast. Holy fuck.
With your gear.
Maybe that other one. What's it called? Ola.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
there's so many. Lyft.
Lyft. Haven't heard of it.
LYFT, isn't that one?
It probably is, man. Or you can get one of those Lime scooters. Just
Mate,
fucking
they
ride
are
that
the
to Gold
bomb.
Coast.
They are the bomb, eh? I went to the city with my kids. We just went out for dinner to hang out and stuff, you know. And we went to get some pancakes and all that, and we thought, what are we gonna do? And I was like, my son's going, get these scooters. So we all got on these scooters and we just ran amok.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it was like being kids, you know.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
they're
cool.
grown up, but the three of us just hooning around these scooters, raising hell.
What, you could just grab them, or is there a coin?
No, you
or
pay
do
You
an
you
have an
app.
app,
You get an
register, or
have an app, and you just
Yeah.
scan it,
Yeah.
and it
app?
charges you
App linked
dollars.
to your credit card. It's not that
It's
expensive.
like $1.60 or something, and off you go.
Yeah, it's not expensive. I know there's another one. I can't remember what it's called. That's not Lime. That they only have a radius that's like just to the Story Bridge. And so I was in the valley, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to give one of these Lime scooters a go, and I'm going to take it all the way back to Morningside.
Mm.
And so I couldn't find a Lime, but I found
Is it the orange one?
the orange one. The
Yeah,
orange
yeah.
one. The link is on the screen. Anyway, and then I grabbed it, and coming across the Story Bridge, and just this is fucking cool, man. I'm having a blast, just like fucking bumps in the road where you nearly fall off, and then like come around, and then but then the problem was that I got probably as far as that the Dan Murphy's. Where's that? Anyway, like just a little bit past the Story Bridge, almost to Punchy's house, and it just went. You have reached your limit. You can't it's like the scooter turns itself off at that point. So the Lime scooters, I know for a fact that Casper's ridden a Lime scooter back to our house the whole fucking way on a day that he was feeling good. But this one, nah. So I ended up having to walk.
Was it
the
out
rest
of
the way.
battery, or does it have
No,
a GPS zone?
This one has a GPS zone. Lime
Right.
scooters don't, but this one does. It's like just the orange ones are just CBD.
So what do you do when it goes? Meow? You just leave it
walk
there.
back to the zone, and then scan your app so that your ride's finished.
Fuck off.
Clock off, yeah, exactly, and walk for an hour and a half to get back to Morningside.
Did you look for a lime though?
I did. I had a look out. By the time I got there, there was apparently one nearby, but I couldn't find it. So,
So
it's
you
just
ride
like,
the
fuck
orange
it, I'll
one.
just
Ride the orange one to a lime.
ride the orange one to a
the
lime.
nearest
There you
lime.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Wow, let's
That's
get.
what I'll do next time, man.
Well, I haven't commuted with them. I've only used them recreationally, but
Yeah. Oh man, it
we've
was
done some
fun.
sick burnouts. It was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, that was cool because they've got the brakes and shit. So I was doing this mad stuff around the corners, like back off the throttle, jam the brake on, turn
Yeah.
around the corner, It was fun, man. Brought me
Let-
back to like my bike riding days as a kid.
Let's
So
get
much fun.
let's get that happening in Ipswich. Then I don't need to
Limes-
pay Rego or fuel. That would be
Let's
great.
get Limes
Yeah,
in
yeah, it's-
Ipswich.
Lime in Ipswich.
That would be awesome.
Let's do that.
I'm
Come on,
calling
Ipswich.
you out, Lime. I'm calling you out, Ipswich.
Yeah.
That
Lime
sounds cool.
scooters, Ipswich.
Stuff Rego, stuff cars.
What would happen if you just rode it to Ipswich?
If you rode it to Ipswich, well, it'd do the
It might have a
GPS
zone.
thing
It
that
might
he's
have a
talking
zone.
about.
Limes might have a zone that far.
Yeah, they
Probably
might.
would, yeah.
Yeah,
They get
Ipswich is a long way from Brisbane CBD.
Let's
So,
say 30k, 33k's or something.
mm,
But it's
yeah,
a long way in traffic.
yeah, maybe.
It's about
Like I don't know how big the zone is for
40
Lime.
minutes from
Couldn't do it
here.
on one of the orange ones, bastards.
No.
Yeah, so about 30 Ks.
See,
But
then the juicies have got to get them and charge them up.
That's it. Yep. There's a little bit of money in that. The
We had, a bit
juices.
of, we had a bit of a run-in with a juicy.
Did ya? What
Mm.
happened?
I got in strife.
What happened? Tell me.
Well, because we wanted, because, I said with my kids, we want to write, so we needed 3, obviously. So we're on the app trying to find them. We got 1, and then they're on 1. And so I had another one that was over the road, I think. So off we go, and then so they jumped on one together. And then the Juicy got it. They got in trouble off a Juicy. It was like abusing them for having 2 on the same scooter, and
Huh.
we didn't have the helmets on at that stage.
Oh, okay.
One of them had a
public
helmet, one of them
liability.
didn't.
Wow.
And we're like, okay, calm down.
Yeah.
Where's your badge?
that's what I was going to say before. The lawyers
They're
would
like-
probably have a field day if somebody screwed themselves up
Dude.
on one.
Dude,
Yeah, but
seriously,
where does-
I've got a story about that actually.
Where does personal responsibility end?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Good question.
So Tobias, who shot our last Blues Arcadia film clip, Sertraline, the Ballad of Sertraline, he was the dude that shot the film clip. He's brilliant. He's a great pianist. He's a fucking great videographer. But he was on a Lime scooter, and all of a sudden it just stopped, and he went straight over the handlebars and broke his hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's apparently that's happened to a few people where it's like a malfunction in the scooter. Something's gone fucking wrong. And instead of like the orange ones that something goes wrong, they stop slowly. At this point in the life of the Lime scooters, he just went arse over tit, man. Smashed his arm. So he had a break. He had a cast for months, man. It was a similar injury to I broke my hand a little while ago going drunken rock climbing.
Did he communicate with the government, and what was the
I don't actually
outcome?
know. I don't know.
Don't know.
But he definitely could
Or
be
he just
looking
wore
at
the
some
cost.
serious fucking compensation
Oh, I
for
reckon.
shit like that.
Well, all that would mean is that they then build liability insurance into their pricing structure. They get a bit more expensive,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nothing
That's
wrong.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Nothing wrong
Then
with
you got
that.
to make. Then you prove it's malfunction of the Lime scooter rather than. Because how many? You can't just sue people for stacking a scooter because they sold a scooter. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yep. Yep. Yeah. But this was
And
definitely.
they'll probably have a waiver on the app to get the app to be able to hire a Lime. That'll be like a waiver saying I'm not holding Lime. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. We all sign those every day without
To the-
reading
to
them.
the
So.
limit of whatever's limited by law. You know, like they would
Mm.
on a normal scooter. You buy a scooter at Target. it'd be-
Mm. Waivers only go so far, though. You can
Oh,
still
yeah, I know.
challenge a waiver.
Yeah, of course. It just makes it a bit more expensive to challenge it.
Yeah.
You need a lawyer.
That's it.
Yeah, you need. Yes.
And then the lawyers win every time.
Didn't we say we should be
Money,
eating them
money.
in
Yeah,
a previous
I'd eat a lawyer.
podcast?
I'd eat a lawyer. Yeah, cook it up, eat
You
it.
don't like lawyers?
I've never had a lawyer, so I
Hey,
don't know.
You gotta love them.
Gotta
I
love
everyone.
them. Gotta love
everyone,
them.
Everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a role.
Mm.
Yep.
You know,
Everyone does.
that's the thing about I used to be because I used to work for the Department of Justice, so I was very, potato patriotic. You know, it's like patriotic.
Patriotic. Yummy. That's very Irish of you, Mr. Hellhop.
But now I'm like, well, our society without due process would be hell.
Oh, it'd be fucked, wouldn't it?
Oh,
know?
be
yeah.
serious.
Yeah.
You need due process. You need to say, hey, if you're going to prosecute somebody, these are the standards, these are the rules. Make sure you've got these elements.
Yeah.
You know? And so defense lawyers is to make sure they do that.
Do you know in many places in the Middle East they don't even have letterboxes?
What's your point? What's that got to do with the price of fish?
Oh, due process. You
Due
know,
process.
go-
They don't like Jews in the Middle East either. Generally speaking.
DUE process.
Ah.
Dew,
Oh, okay. Okay.
like
Yeah.
Mountain Dew, but with the DUE.
That's DEW.
but with the DUE.
DUI. I've
Like
had
your
one of
bills are
those
due.
before.
There's
Yeah,
plenty
yeah.
of places
Your
on earth
process
that
is
don't
due.
have.
The bill is a juice.
There's plenty of places on earth that don't have due process
Mm, mm.
or even mailboxes.
So we have
That's my
this-
point.
We have this adversarial system, you know, where there's a dance between the prosecution and the defence,
Mm.
and the whole dance, the whole process of that adversarial system is pretty crucial to how our society functions, opposed to failed
Yep, yep,
societies
yep,
or
yep.
chaotic societies. Or
Yep, yep. So there's a it's like a proper argument is built in, like the idea that we need to have a proper argument about this. Present your case, I'll listen. I'll present my case, you listen. Now let's figure it out. Which is like that's an argument, and so that's built into our system, and that's fucking reliable,
if
man.
it didn't exist, then you could prosecute anybody for anything at any time. Imagine
Yeah.
that. That'd be a nightmare.
Yeah.
You could get
Fucking
prosecuted
nightmare,
for
man. Like,
murder
that's North Korea
because there's
shit.
no one defending you. Exactly. It's the road to fascism.
Mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm. For
Well,
sure.
that's kind of happening with That's kind of happening with all this bullshit social media crap that's going on. People are losing their jobs just for saying "fuck you" to somebody for some reason, whatever.
But we're still, as a culture, we're still adjusting and adapting and evolving to having our life so public.
Yeah.
People are choosing it. That's the thing. They're choosing to do it. Anything you post on social media, it's in the public domain.
Yep.
Potentially
We're choosing
forever.
to do it right now. We're posting this on YouTube.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Mm.
Forgoing our own privacy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Which if you're which the way that you now market yourself in the arts,
You have to.
you can't not
You
be
fucking
public,
have to.
You know?
You have to have a Facebook account. You have to have it rolling over. Keep the Facebook account ticking. To like it's because we have to brand ourselves and market ourselves. And people are on Instagram, people are on Facebook, people are on YouTube. So that's where you got to go. That's how you brand yourself. You know, it's important. It has to be done as a pro muso.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I know.
unfortunate. I fucking hate Facebook. I hate it, but I need it because of what I do. I fucking need it. You know, I'll post some fucking private shit in a very public domain. I've done it before on purpose, man, because you have to market who you are, and to explain who you are, you've got to get personal. So I had a big thing earlier this year where it was I posted 11 songs in 11 days that expressed what it's like for me living with bipolar disorder. Because people need to hear it, you know, and because people need to hear me say it as well. So it's very private, but it's very public, and it was just like open myself up to the rawness of that that move, a thing that I had to do. I fucking had to do it. There was something on my mind, and I needed to tell the world.
Did you get any because from a psychology standpoint, that's kind of gold, giving you your own case study up for free, which is cool. But did you get any ferals who
No.
pushed back or anything
No,
like that?
nothing like that.
Okay.
Nothing like that at all.
Cambridge
That's
Analytica.
You know what it did?
Analytica, appreciate
You know what it did? It helped people express themselves.
Of course.
By my example, it helped people express their own fucking
Of
experiences.
course, because vulnerability is courageous.
Yeah. Well, that's what the artist. That's what we do as artists, right? We just.
I thought it was interesting. This
Sounds like did
so
a good thing.
I was watching this John Mayer film clip, and it's like he's very smart because it's all about connection. Music's all about connection.
Yes.
Now,
absolutely.
rather than having something that seemed superly high produced, you know, like a rapper's or mumble rapper's film clip might be, he's like sitting on the couch and he's like playing this guitar, and it looks like it's filmed like a dodgy documentary sort of. And the dog comes up, he's patting the dog, and like that was his film clip for one of his songs. But it's just so personal,
Right on, man.
personal. So
Right on.
Well, you just did 3 of them.
yeah, well, that was pretty personal because it was there's no pre-production, no hours in the studio. But yeah, and this relates to the theme of that disclosure builds rapport. You know,
Mm.
it's like I wrote
True.
a poem about this about about this subject, and I called it it's like the Soviet Cold War of rapport, because to me, when you're building rapport by making disclosures, it's like you're arming the other person. You're giving them weapons. You know. So if we're sitting there talking, and I pull out a gun and I give it to you, and I give you a gun, it's like I've made you now feel safe. You now hold the power to harm me if you want to, which means you're safe and secure. Then making disclosures to me. I've given you the power, and it's dangerous. It takes courage, but it's how you build rapport, especially if you want to build in a hurry. And to me, I've got these theories about connection where it's all life is. Like where I was saying how our species is communal. To me, it's like the whole human experience is about connection. It's about relationships. It's what keeps us buoyant in the rough seas. It's our ballast, which is another thing I wrote. The ballast about how my life and my resilience is what keeps me afloat, but the ballast in the rough seas is what stops you tipping over. You know,
What is a ballast?
like the big fin that goes really deep under the
yeah,
yacht,
okay.
so it doesn't. Yacht can't tip
Yeah,
over.
yeah,
You
I
know?
know what you're talking about.
And so I have ballasts in my life. Those are people that are. It's not an anchor. An anchor holds you back and stops you, but the ballast keeps you steady in rough seas.
Wow.
You know, so that's a poem I wrote too about the ballast, and that is connection. It's like what keeps you afloat. It's what keeps you through your trials. We go through divorces, or we go through, you know, children dying, or all the horrors and challenges we face. Life is full of suffering, you know, and it's the relationships and connections that keep us afloat. It's relationships and connections that get us through those things. That's why I love music. Music is such a conduit for that. It's a conduit for connection, you know.
True story, man.
Yeah.
That's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. That music, like you think about the nostalgia that you feel listening to a song that reminds you of the times you spent. Like, say if we were to put on a song right now, we've been best mates for years. We put on a song right now. In 20 years' time, we'll hear that song and remember this experience. It becomes this shared experience. So
Yeah.
what I guess what I'm trying to get at is my oldest mate in the world, Mick, and his cousin Tim and our mate John, we just used to hang out listening to Green Day and just talking shit and getting pissed when we were like 16, 17. And so now for all four of us, when we hear that music, it's like it's a ballast. It's this conduit that brings me back to those friends. You know, like a ballast, as you said. That's fucking brilliant, man. What you just said, I'm blown away.
I think you're more talking about nostalgia, though.
No, I'm not. I'm not, because Mick is one of my rocks, right?
Right.
And so I'll hear a song and I'll be like, oh yeah, well, I wonder how Mick is doing. I'm going to touch base because I need to talk to my old friend, you know. And he'll do the same thing. He'll hear the same song and go, oh, I wonder how Jez is doing.
Yeah.
And needs to touch base with me.
Oh,
you know?
okay,
So this
trigger.
conduit
Yeah,
conduit for connection, and the human connection
trigger a
is the
reconnection.
ballast that holds us steady in the water. Same with you and me, man. I hear
think
Chili
Luke's-
Peppers, I hear Parliament, whatever. Like all of these songs, like our shared history of as music fans, that it'll be like, I wonder how Rob's doing. I need to touch base. You know, and conduit for the ballast. Brilliant. You've
I think
blown my
Luke's
mind, Luke.
going a bit deeper than that, though. More
How deep are we going?
friendships. Sounds like it. Friendships that keep you steady.
Yeah, man. And
Yeah.
Not just music, but friendships that
yes,
keep you
but
steady.
we were talking about music as well.
Yeah, I mean, as a way of transferring and sharing.
Right.
You know, it's like the broadband. It's like what you're saying about you and your mates and shared experiences and stuff. It's the music has been the conduit or the facilitator of the connection in some way.
For sure, man.
Definitely
Absolutely.
for me. Like
For me
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
in my
Me
time,
too.
there was in my time we still had a culture associated with music where it was like, you know, like my old man talks about the mods and the rockers in the days of the Beatles. You know, you belonged to one of those parties. You dressed that way. Your hair was cut that way. It was the same for me. Like we once I got friends who were listening to grunge music, the whole Seattle scene. We all wore black jeans, you know. We all wore, that was our thing. And there was all the other kids who listened to Cypress Hill and Tupac and the hip hop and rap.
How
and
old
so
are
they
you,
wore back.
if you don't mind me
I'm
asking?
39, so this is
39.
the 90s.
Yeah, you're similar age.
In high school in the 90s, they're all wearing
Yep.
baggy pants and playing basketball. They had different, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
like the movie Grease. Like we associated culturally, our identity developed from the type of music we listened to.
Mm-hmm.
It was so
For
funny.
sure,
There was
man.
a couple of friends. There was a couple of friends in our
100%,
friends group
for
who
real.
got this.
Mm.
Dang, dog.
They had the Cypress Hill album,
Yeah.
You know,
Insane
we're
in the
like-
Membrane.
and we're like, "We don't
Fuck
listen to
that.
rap."
Yeah.
What the hell? And they're like, "No, just listen to it." And they put it on. Loved it. Next minute,
Yeah.
Where was your high school?
I went to Claver, Peter Claver in Ipswich. We had a really good community when I went there.
Hmm.
Really did. Like, it was funny, you know. We'd have these. This is what this. This is still a problem I have, right? Where, so we sort of mocked the other guys, right? There's a bit of a rivalry. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like violence, but we kind of mocked them, you know.
Mm.
So we had this sort of. We'd say, "Hey, yo, what's up?" You know what I mean? We'd like, "Yo, yo, yo," to each other,
Mm-hmm.
kind of mocking
Mhm.
the
Yeah,
rap,
yeah,
the
bit
rap
ironic,
music
yeah.
fans, because we were rockers, you know.
Yeah.
But we did it so much it became habit, where that was how we greeted each other all the time, and then other
Yeah.
people would see us
That's
and go,
hilarious.
"Well, they're them, you know, homies that listen to rap," you know. And I now do that accidentally
Yo.
with like Ocker sayings, like I'm saying them ironically, like fair dinkum, mate, like fair shake of the sauce bottle. What do you want about?
Yeah.
And but I done it. Now it's become habit, and then
Mhm.
I sound like such a bogan. It's like,
Fucking bargain.
it's like the line's been crossed where it's so natural now
Yeah.
and accidental that it sounds like that's how I actually, it is actually how I talk. But I meant to. It's meant to be humorous.
It originated. It originated ironically, but now it's post-ironic.
It's
That's even
post-ironic.
better. That's even better.
Post-ironic language. That's a name for an album.
Oh yeah.
Post-ironic language.
You're a
Yeah.
similar generation to me. So you had the homies, you had the surfies, you had the skaters,
Yeah.
you had the goths.
Well, then the
And-
skaters were interesting because they dressed like homies. They had baggy pants. They rode skateboards, but they listened to Nirvana. But they also listened to Beastie Boys and Cypress, and you know
That was
Mm.
me.
that was that culture. You know, we
That
probably
was-
know each other.
That was me.
We're probably in the scene together.
That was me.
Not funny to make associations like that.
The skaters, I
Yeah.
guess, I guess the skaters were a bit of everything. Beastie Boys got into the hip hop through there.
Well, I did.
They would
Did
have
the
had the punk
punk.
too. They would have had the punk too.
Oh, definitely the punk,
I
yeah.
did have a brother-in-law who was
Kind of
like
in the middle.
one of the original BWP members, so I got
Seriously.
yeah. So I got to hang with them guys, which was pretty cool.
Wow, that would have been
Yeah.
something different.
Yeah, for a Catholic school boy, it was
Yeah.
good to learn how to let my hair down and get amongst it with them.
Mm.
They were good people too.
Oh man, I bet
The
most
whole
people.
painting scene.
Most
you know?
people are good people.
I've gone to the whole painting scene. Not big into it. I'm by no means a skilled graffiti artist, but I dabbled in it and
Mm.
did a couple of pieces and you know, tagging. Never
Mm.
did the private property stuff. You know, when people tag fences or cars.
Yeah, that's personal. That sort of shit. That's straight up personal.
That's just like littering. It's like throwing rubbish in the
Yeah,
street. It's
yeah.
like
That's
I
being
want
an
my
arsehole.
environment to be as disgusting as possible.
Mm.
It's also an assault on somebody's property. Yeah.
It is.
Yep. Bit different to public. Because public property everybody pays for. But still you'll get in trouble for that too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I'm not condoning it, but
yeah.
I mean, like,
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's
like artworks,
yeah, like
just
a
like
piece.
tagging.
Like not tagging, but like a piece. You know?
Yeah, cool.
well, at the same time it's kind of natural to leave your mark. And
Yeah.
people,
Well, that-
humans have
yeah,
been
it's like
doing it
Taking a
forever.
piss.
That's why the dog.
Territorial pissings.
It is territorial pissing.
Humans-
Definitely.
Humans have been doing it forever.
Do you know what? I've had this discussion when I've worked with young people who've been like that's their offences, and they're trying to. They're like, there's nothing wrong with it. Everyone does it. So I try to get them to understand from the point of view that what you are searching for is significance.
Yes.
You are literally putting
Yes.
your name on shit everywhere because you want to feel
Mm.
Dude.
significant. What if you could
Absolutely.
feel significant without destroying property?
Without
ending up
it's
in
the
jail,
property damage
you
that's
know?
the problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if you could feel significant because of choices you made that had value?
Oh.
Yeah.
Because you did things that a man does and took responsibility for things. And, you know,
Did
like,
you get through to them on that line?
It's more like probably drop in the ocean. You know what I mean? But bit by bit,
Mm.
sort of plant the
Mm.
seed. You try to.
Well, yeah, if you graffiti a canvas, like what's behind your head there,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Art.
Graffiti somebody's fence, someone's going to get fucking pissed off.
But it is art. It is art. That's the thing. If Michelangelo, was 18 and
He
painted
just painted fucking roofs, right?
painted exactly what looked like on the roof of the Sistine Chapel, and he painted that on one of the trains, he'd be a criminal.
Yeah.
He'd be a young hoon graffiti artist. So really, to some degrees, it's perception of art.
Yep. Yep.
But
Man,
it doesn't hurt to have permission.
Good job.
I hope it's a entertaining podcast.
well,
Very entertaining.
Lucifer, thank you for being here and for facilitating our friend Mr. Hellhop.
Hellhop.
Yeah.
Lucifer Hellhop is a student.
These dudes are twins, actually. This
They're
is
twins.
Lucifer and Lucifer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is actually
Loosey
an artistic
goosey.
representation of me.
Actually, I modelled it on you.
It's quite a...
It's just got a little bit more hair on top.
the
The horns
it's so...
aren't big enough, though. The horns aren't big enough.
It's such a close, replica. It's almost like a photo of me. Like, that's how well you've done it.
Oh,
Like,
thanks, man.
I rate your art.
Thank you so much.
That's
I really tried with this one.
A
I
couple
really
of horns,
tried.
couple of big teeth. Might be close.
That is a
Yeah.
Xerox of me right there.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, man.
Might be
I
close.
did try. I like how one nostril is bigger than the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a yeah, exactly like my nose is like that.
Damn, my nostrils.
That's like it's realistic, you know. It's but thanks. I'm really glad that you appreciate it.
Is there any Peter Gabriel reference or?
Peter Gabriel. Sledgehammer. Yes, it was on purpose. I did it on purpose.
Are you saying
But yeah, so dude, thank you so much for being here. This has been such a good chat.
you've
Been
invited
great
me.
hanging out with you. Been great hearing you play music and singing along while you play it. This has been really good. So
Yeah, fantastic.
thanks so much,
Mega
man.
noise.
Are
Thank
you missing any plugs before we wrap up? Are
Any
you
plugs?
missing any plugs? Have you
Well, even
mentioned
though my
everything?
name's Lucifer Hellhop, I do have a stage name, which is
Ah.
Luke Melhop.
Oh, well, you've
So
got to
there's-
disguise it.
so
So
there's-
Luke Melhop.
Luke.
Luke Melhop Music, where I play my music on the social media, and Luke_Melhop on Insta,
Mhm.
and LukeMelhop.com is kind of
Yep,
that's how I
yep.
promote my wares.
Cool, man. And my plugs are always going to be about Blues Arcadia. We've got a Melbourne tour coming up. We got some festivals coming up. Check out our website, bluesarcadia.com.au or bluesarcadia.com. I'm not really sure. It's written in the description here. So follow us,
Blues Arcadia.
Blues Arcadia.
And Scatology every week. And also have a happy night before All Saints Day. Halloween.
Halloween special.